Hi everyone. My name is Kriti Jalan. I am a licensed mental health therapist and a founder of an online community called Mind the Gap. I'm also a doctoral student currently pursuing my PhD in the field of counseling. Firstly, I would like to wish everybody a very happy and peaceful World Mental Health Day. I think I owe a lot of thanks to such days and initiatives, which reinforces us to believe and to definitely understand that mental health is as important as physical health. I think there has been a shift in the way that mental health has been viewed. Specifically in this year, it's been a tough year, and it's been with lots of ups and downs with physical as well as medical emergencies. And it's only in such times that we realize the importance of having mental health. So yeah, I would like to wish everybody all the peace and all the happiness and all the balance that they can possibly have in their life to deal with any sort of situation that life throws at you. Today, we're going to talk about LGBTQ counseling, and this is particularly for individuals who are counselors or who are training to become one, and how we can practice LGBTQ safe zone counseling in our practice. So, to become a queer affirmative counselor, you have to go through training. There are lots of training materials. There are different schools of training when it comes to LGBTQ background training. But one of the most famous ones is called the Safe Zone training, and that has an international curriculum which encourages counselors in training to sort of look at their own biases, to look at their own thought processes that they have been brought up with, and ideally to help them relearn what it means to be in a part of that community. Now, there are two parts of who is a safe zone. One is an ally and one is a community member. The ally is basically people who are not identified as an LGBTQ plus community member. That means you are cisgendered and you're a heterosexual man or woman, and that is someone who's an ally. And a safe zone personnel is someone who prescribes to associating themselves to that community. Now, why is this called a safe zone? Why are we called safe zones? That's because historically speaking, and even politically speaking, there is no safe zone for members of this community to sort of open up, or, somewhere where they are accepted. There is no environment that's conducive to their reality. And the idea of this safe zone project is to build that environment in counseling. Now, we all know that, gender, sexuality, that is something that's very, very inbred in all of us. So even though we can become counselors, we can learn the skills, we can learn the techniques. There are a lot of inbred family backgrounds and understandings that we've grown up with. So it's not just that you can just call yourself a safe zone practitioner. You'll have to go through training. Now, talking a little bit about training, it's basically, there are two kinds of training. One is a 2-hour long training, and one is a 3-hour long training. The only difference in the hour is that there's an extra hour of discussion and there's an extra hour of activities in the training. Now, it's recommended that you do a 3-hour training program, and most of these verified training programs are associated with the Safe Zone project, which is an internationally acclaimed project where you get stickers and you can get sort of badges that then you can use in your CVs and resumes, etc., because that means that you're acclaimed and you are recognized by the Safe Zone project, which is an international organization. Now, I think one thing that's very, very important to, for me to sort of tell everybody is that it's very easy for us to say that we don't judge, we're not homophobic, we are not people who would, consider these communities as a different group. And that's where the differentiation lies. The idea is that we want you to understand what it likes to be from the community, and we want you to differentiate between the community so that this LGBTQ plus community gets its own share of environment where they can be heard. Now, Safe Zone also has legal backgrounds to it. Traditionally speaking, in countries where safe zone rights and LGBTQ rights are sanctioned by the laws and the legal bodies, counselors also act as liaisons between the laws and medical faculties and help these individuals to process changes. Now, obviously, that sort of is yet to be formed in India, and that is yet to be developed. However, the first step is for counselors to actively involve themselves in these trainings and to be able to be safe zone allied, or as we say, queer affirmative practitioners. So I think that is the first step that we as counselors should definitely enroll ourselves into. As I said, it's a 3-hour long training. It's not very extensive when it comes to time, but it's very, very extensive when it comes to destigmatizing your own beliefs around this community. And it's important that we go through this step, because when we are in session, we are responsible for the mental health of another individual, of another client. And in this case, there are lots of intersectionalities that comes into play. There are lots of different minorities and marginalized groups that are, those themes and those stories of their individuality comes up in a counseling. So if a counselor is not equipped to handle that, we are going to do a disservice to our clients. So this World Mental Health Day, I want to call out to all the counselors in training, to all the counselors who genuinely want to become queer affirmative practitioners. Please get yourself enrolled into a safe zone training. It's also called LGBTQ training. In fact, even in my company called, Mind the Gap, we do have LGBTQ trainings specifically for counselors. Like there's a counselor edition and counselor chapter as well. So if you are interested, please reach out to us. Please reach out to our Instagram handle, and we will be happy to provide resources around that. If not, if you just want to know more about it, please, I'm more than happy to get in touch and, quickly have a chat with anybody who's more interested in knowing. I myself am a safe zone trained ally. So I would definitely love to share my sort of beliefs and thought processes, which were challenged while I was doing this training. And the training that we do in Mind the Gap is also the training that has been done in the Safe Zone Project company, that is the universally acclaimed, internationally acclaimed project. So I think this is a urge and a call to all the counselors in training to let's make our techniques and practices a little bit more ethically viable, because we are responsible for another client's life.